The lesson outcome for this video is, I can use the order of operations to simplify an expression. So why do we need an order of operations? A specific order that we perform the operations, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Why do we need a certain order? Well, let's look at this quick example. I have 5 minus 2 times 3 written down twice. Well, if one student decides they are going to solve this problem by doing 5 minus 2, which is 3, and then multiplying that answer by 3, well, 3 times 3 is 9. So that would be their answer. However, if a different student decided, well, I just want to multiply 2 times 3 first, and then they write 5 minus 2 times 3, which is 6, and they get 5 minus 6, and 5 minus 6 is negative 1, if they do that, what happens? Well, these two students get different answers. And we can't have that in math. So long ago, there was a decision made that there is going to be a specific order in which the operations need to be simplified in an expression. So what is that order? Well, you might remember it from previous experiences. Well, here it is. So parentheses or brackets, can be parentheses or it can be brackets, any of those types of things. Always whatever's in them happens first. We didn't have any brackets or parentheses in our example up here. Exponents would come second, so 5 to the second power, we would need to do that. Then we multiply or divide, and I say or divide. You don't always multiply before dividing, but you multiply or divide from left to right. And then we add or subtract, again, from left to right. So if we look back up to these two problems, can you think to yourself which of those two problems was simplified correctly using the order of operations? Well, if you said this one, you would be correct because we need to multiply right here before we did our subtraction right here. So in this case, we multiplied first, 2 times 3 is 6, and then we did 5 minus 6 to get negative 1. Let's try some examples. Okay, so let's try this first example here. 7 plus 3 squared times 4. One thing I recommend to students often is to write the order of operations down somewhere on their paper for each question, or at least somewhere at the top of their paper to refer to. You might remember an acronym that we use, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, for the order of operations, using each letter for one of those words, or people eat McDonald's and Subway, whatever you use to remember your order of operations. Some people also just say PEMDAS, PEMDAS. All right, so we're going to start with our parentheses. You'll notice that in this expression, there are no parentheses or brackets. So we will move right on down to the next option, exponents. 3 squared is a situation with an exponent. The exponent is 2, the base is 3. So we're going to simplify that first. All right, so we're going to leave the 7 alone. We're going to use our plus sign here, leave that. 3 squared, well, 3 squared means 3 times itself. So 3 times 3 is 9. And then we're going to leave the multiplication symbol and our 4. Now I'll tell you, one place that people make mistakes often is right here. So now there's only a couple things left, adding, multiplying. So people just do 7 plus 9 is 16, and then do 16 times 4. And that, again, will be using the incorrect order of operations. We need to do multiply or divide first, and again, remember that's left to right. So multiplication or division comes next. So the 7 and the plus right here, we're going to ignore that for now, and we're going to only look at the 9 times 4 portion of this expression. So leaving the 7 and the plus, 9 times 4 is 36. And then lastly, we will get to our addition and subtraction. Again, from left to right. In this case, it doesn't matter, but we have addition to finalize this problem. Right there. So 7 plus 36 is 43, and that is our simplified answer to the expression. Here's another example. 6 plus 2 to the third power minus 1 plus 4. If you get used to writing the order of operations acronym off to the side, PEMDAS, sometimes people say PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, it might help you to follow the correct order every time. Again, we will start with parentheses. We do have a set of parentheses, so we're going to go ahead and write the rest of the expression, 6 plus 2 to the third minus, and we have a parentheses, 1 plus 4, which is 5. Exponents comes next. Once again, we have an exponent situation right here, 2 to the third power. Remember that that means 2 times itself 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2. So we have the 6 plus 2 times 2 is 4 times another 2 is 8. And then we have our minus 5. Now we will go over to our multiply or divide part, and you notice we do not have any multiplication or division in this problem. Lastly, we get to add or subtract, and please again remember that this means you need to go from left to right. So our first thing that comes on the left is 6 plus 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. And then we subtract 14 minus 5, and we get 9. Now here is an example for you to try on your own. Write down this problem, attempt to simplify it using the order of operations. Make sure to pause the video while you do so. When you're finished, play the video and check to see that you have it right. Okay, let's check to see how you did. First of all, did you write the order of operations on the side of your paper? Let's check to make sure we follow them. We have no parentheses, and we have no exponents in this problem either. We're going to start by multiplying or dividing from left to right. 24 minus 16 divided by, here's the first division or multiplication sign we see, so we need to do the division first. 16 divided by 4. So again, we keep the 24, subtract 16 divided by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4, times 2 plus 3. Notice we do not go right away to addition and subtraction because we still have multiplication to take care of. So we see some multiplication right here, 4 times 2. We're going to go ahead and do 24 minus 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 3. Now we have arrived at our final step in the order of operations, add or subtract. Again, these are both from left to right. This time the first thing that comes on the left is 24 minus 8, so we will be subtracting before we add. 24 minus 8 is 16, and 16 plus 3 is 19. How did you do? Replay this video if you need to watch things again on the order of operations.